Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes. Now in our 10th year of broadcasting each week, we continue talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's cabinet and appliance showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we're going to share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today, we're going to start off talking to some folks from Halikaukau, the favorite eating place of those who either have no way to fix their food or get their food, or what's the third part of that?
Can't afford it.
Can't
Afford it. There we go. That's probably number one, right? Excellent. Halikaukau, that's over at St. Teresa's Church, right?
Yes, it is. 25 West Lapoa Street in Kihei.
Claudine, just jump right in.
Sorry.
No. I mean that. Okay. So now, when I called you and I left a message, or was it when you called me back and left a message? We have Claudine San Nicolas.
Yes.
And then there's another name behind that, wasn't there? No?
Oh, my married name is Perry.
Perry.
Yes.
Okay. See, I knew there was another name when we didn't converse. It was you leaving a message, I think.
Yes.
And that was on there, and I'm going, okay.
Sometimes the kids call.
Yes.
And so they need to know that, yes, it's their mom.
Oh, that's the cat. Oh, it was on your recording.
My voicemail. Yeah.
Voicemail. Okay. That's a good point, because we don't think about that, right? Interesting.
Yes.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, they'd know it was Mom the minute they hear your voice.
But just in case. I say my full name, my legal name. But I am Claudine San Nicolas, Program Director at Halikaukau in Kihei, 25 West Lapoa Street. And we do appreciate, Susie, that you would have myself and Dr. Mary Trotto, our fundraising chair.
Guru.
Yes, guru would be the word.
Yeah. You know, it's always great to have you guys on, because you do such a wonderful job over there. And it's really the only place where people can go without having to answer questions, fill out forms, and just get a nice meal for dinner.
That's correct. At Halikaukau, no questions asked, and we've been doing that for 28 years. We never missed a meal service. August 11, 1991 is Halikaukau's anniversary when we first opened, and we're still going.
And you celebrated, what was it, 10,000th meal or something?
10,000th day was December 26, 2018, so we're beyond 10,000 days.
Yeah, you are.
We can tell you it's about 1.5 million meals over the course of 28.
Wow.
Because you're averaging 150 a day approximately, and you're serving anywhere between 50 and 60,000 meals a year.
That's a lot of food.
Yes, and we're doing more. We have new. Did you want me just to jump
Go
into
for
that?
it. Hey,
All right.
you got the facts and figures.
I'm really excited because I'm in my, 21st month at Halikaukau, and I'm feeling a little stronger about being involved in this nonprofit. So at Halikaukau, we really, for 28 years, have concentrated in South Maui. That is from Ma'alaia to Wailea. We will do people who live there, who are frail, sick, disabled, elderly. We will deliver them a meal as long as we get a referral from their doctor, their priest or minister, their insurance company, and the county's Office on Aging.
Ah, okay.
So again, that's actually really no questions asked also, because we're just getting the referral. We don't take self-referrals. We're just getting the referral, and then we go to their home, and again, the questions we're asking are, what are your dietary limitations? How do we deliver this meal to you? Do you have a dog? Because some of our drivers need to get the heads up about this kind of thing. Some of the people are so frail, they need us to leave the meal in a cooler. They don't have time to visit with us. Others actually want to visit with us.
Sure.
So, and what I've learned as the program director at Halikakau, and it's my job to actually talk to these people, is that in some cases, our Halikakau meal is their only meal of the day.
Right.
And in other instances, our driver is the only visitor of the day.
Their only contact.
Their only
Outside
contact with the outside world in terms of
Wow.
people. So that's what we've been concentrating. And in July, this new fiscal year, we partnered with the Maui Family Life Center, who, amongst other things, gives shelter, emergency shelter to women and children who find themselves suddenly homeless. We now do 75 meals a week on the first week of the month. We give their volunteer cook a break, and we deliver 25 meals to them. So that's one new. And the other one, the other agency, nonprofit that we partnered with is Kaliakeola Homeless Resource Center. As you know, in Lahaina, they have 42 units without kitchens. And these are the units that when someone says, yes, I'm ready to come off the streets and I'm going to address some of my challenges, whether that might be drug abuse or whatever, their long-time homelessness, they put them in these units first just to kind of get them settled. The issue is they don't have any kitchens, of course, so they can't cook. So we're doing 86 meals a week. So on top of our 150 meals a day, at least twice a week, we're doing an additional by reaching out to Kaliakeola Homeless Resource Center in Lahaina. They're coming to pick it up. And I want to tell a side story on that one. And then at Maui Family Life Center, at least twice a week. On the first week, like this week, first week of the month, we do 3 times.
Okay.
So that we're we're happy to help and share, and we're able to do that because of all the kind of support we get.
Right.
But that's what's new. That's
It's
one of
kinda-
the newest things.
You're cooking anyway, right?
We're cooking anyway, so what's another 67 meals? Because we are doing it in masses, right?
Right.
So I don't want to say what's another, because
I mean, you can
it's
say
kind
that
of
to
kidding,
me as an
but-
individual, and
Right.
I'd go, oh, no.
Yeah.
But-
And then, again, I've only been here 21 months. Dr. Mary can speak. But one thing that we pulled off that we're very surprised that we did, I'm surprised we did because I'm the newcomer, is when the fires were raging in Waikapu Road. Do you remember that? And it just, the whole
everywhere.
central Maui, everybody just drives past on the Veterans Highway. They see that. We are on the night of the fire, July 11th. We served 395 meals.
Wow. Was that people who were evacuated?
People at the shelters.
At the shelters.
We delivered 350 to the shelter. Now, I want to say we had to halt our delivery service because the roads were closed.
For a while, yeah.
So our drivers either couldn't get to the people or the people weren't at home anyway. They might have been at the shelters. So we did 350 at the shelters, and then we did another, believe it or not, there were another 50 people that came, or 45 people who came to our window that night with smoke in the air and soot flying. They came in. So we
Right.
fed them. And some of our homebound, too, our brother and sister actually came by our kitchen because that showed me about hunger and how Halikakau can help. So we did 395. That's the first time I've ever seen like an emergency event that Halikakau would respond to. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we did that too.
Because St. Teresa's is not that close to where the cutoff was, Ohukai, wasn't it?
It was on
Kind of
the
thing.
North Kihei Road side. So
Yeah.
we delivered at Kamali'i Elementary, which is more south.
Right.
So we were able to drop off there. And we also dropped off beverage, by the way, water for them. And then we also dropped off at the Kihei Community Center. About where it got cut off was about Ohukai
Yeah.
and north of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So you were on it.
Yes, we were. Well, we got a call from the mayor. Well, I'm going to say, we had these 65 meals or so. And I actually called my husband, who happens to work for the county. He's the director of communications. I said, I have this 65 meals. I don't know what to do with it. We can't go deliver it. And then he talked about the shelter. So I'm really excited that we were
That's
able
cool.
to
That's
step
using
in.
your connections, kiddo. That's
Oh,
great.
well, okay.
Hey.
But then the mayor got on the phone and he said, "Can you do 300 plus?" I was like, "Okay," and we did. So, and that's really hats off to all the volunteers. The St. Teresa staff stepped in. Some of the drivers who couldn't get their routes actually came in and helped us. So, Haleakala is more than just serving South Maui, is my point today. And Mary's actually kind of excited that that's what we're doing, right, Mary? Because for a long time we used to say we feed in South Maui. And now we could say, oh, we kind of feed beyond that.
You feed the need.
Yeah, we feed the need. There you go.
Hey, that's a neat.
You just gave us our newest.
Isn't that a
one.
cool
We feed
slogan?
The need, yes. We feed the need.
We feed the need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were able to turn on a dime and get the food where it was needed that night.
The other thing I want to say, and this is only in last summer, is that we got a brand new walk-in fridge and a walk-in freezer. And so one of the reasons we were able to get 350 meals out the door in like an hour to 2 hours time is because we had that much storage. We had a lot of meatballs because we could store that.
Right.
If you just caught us, a year ago, we might not have been able to do that. But thanks to
the meal
county,
would have been very different.
or the meal certainly would have been. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I guess we would have had sandwiches. But we actually gave these people a full meal, which is a protein, a starch, veggies, fruit, and bread. And some dessert to kick in, by the way.
There you go.
So that's because our storage increased, in terms of food. So that's really good. I do want to give a shout out right now to Feed My Sheep. Here's how it works, right? The Family Life Center, Feed My Sheep, Kahaliakeola, us, we talk to each other. And just today, for example, there's overage on frozen chicken. So Haleakala could take that 10 cases of chicken. If you asked me 10 cases of chicken a year ago, I probably would have told you I don't think so, because our freezer couldn't fit it.
Right.
But today it can. And so that's why we can feed the need or do like suddenly, emergencies.
So how long will it take to go through 10 cases of chicken?
That's a good question. That's really a question for the cook. But I would say
Ballpark.
that will last us at least a month.
Wow.
But I don't think we want to cook
I mean, you
chicken
don't want,
every
no.
single
But
day.
it may serve 30 meals or 20 meals or 20 days of meals
Yes.
Yeah.
It could, yes.
Yeah.
As the protein.
in
yes.
different forms.
In different forms for sure.
Right.
different forms for sure.
I had a friend who tried to teach me how to put a chicken in a pot of boiling water and then use parts of that chicken and make 5 meals out of it. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there saying, "Now give me a break. Come on, I can eat half of that right now, And he said, no, that's not what you're doing. This is part of a meal. Mm-hmm. This is how you use it. And he does it. I mean, I can't do it. It's not my style with a chicken,
Robert's
but I'm sure
pretty
you
creative.
guys, I was going to say, I'm sure you guys and with your chef and so forth, of how to work with it and make something different out of it each meal.
He has. He's had different things that he's done with chicken. And a lot of different things with beef, too. Yeah. And when Thanksgiving comes up, he'll do, the turkey.
Yeah.
In many, many different ways.
Right.
So we try to be economical about it.
Sure.
But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out that's how
exciting.
we're able to do what we do. There's other nonprofits are helping us. We've got 2 hotels. Shout out to the Hyatt, who gives us food regularly, and to the Marriott, who actually cooks from beginning to the end and brings it to us all hot and done. So that's how we can do it. Flatbread Pizza gives us pizza once a month. So
Wow.
we do that. So there's more.
And there's more.
There's more. If we'll accept more partners, I'd like to see that happen. Bear Company sends their employees. They're famous for their chicken papaya soup, and
Chicken papaya
I don't know
soup.
what happens, but I want to tell you the Coconut Wireless works very well on Maui, because we do something like 50 to 65 meals, and when Bear Company or the Marriott is on, we shoot up to 75 plus.
People know.
So,
They find out. The word gets out.
We don't post it, but Coconut Wireless works.
On that note, we've got to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
I feel like I just had a meal. I don't know about the rest of you. It is lunchtime, and there we go. That's how it works, right? We're talking with Claudine, who's the executive director of Halikaukau, the place to go for dinner when you're... And some people, it's not a matter of being hungry and not being able to afford a dinner. Sometimes it's the relationships and the camaraderie that gets built.
That's true.
With people who are alone.
That's absolutely true. I think I've said before to people that we bring comfort. You know, we've had widowers who have come and said, you know, you used to feed my spouse at home, and now I'm at home by myself. And so I'm here because I want to eat and find comfort in your food,
right,
like the way my spouse did. So I know of that. Unfortunately, this week I can tell you that we had a man and a woman and their 3 kids, and she's pregnant with their 4th child. It was the end of the month, right?
Uh-huh.
Monday,
right,
September 30th. So they said, oh, we could have gone down to McDonald's, but they wanted comfort food, and
right,
they knew they could get it at Halikaukau.
Right.
So this week we fed that family.
And being the end of the month, I'm sure you have people who run out of their... they're not called food stamps anymore. They're called... What it? Huh?
Vouchers. Snap vouchers. From
Snap vouchers.
Yeah.
They run out of that.
Correct.
And you help fill the need.
We do.
Over that period till they get their new
right,
cards. Okay, so now we're going to find out how you make the money to spend on the
how
food.
How we feed the need.
The food that you have to buy. There's a lot that's donated to you, but
yes,
but there's some you do have to buy.
Yes.
So we got Dr. Mary Trotto here to tell us how she does it.
Well, I'll tell you about 2 important fundraising campaigns we have right now. We have the Stomp Out Hunger, which is a 5K run and a 1-mile walk. And this year what I'm really trying to do is develop the walk as a community event, to have people come from all over Maui to come together to support a very important cause, to feed those who are hungry, and to have make it a community of fun event, kind of like they used to have the whale parade, years ago in Kihei. Mm-hmm. Something that will bring the community together in Kihei. And so my focus this year is to try to get the walk so that there's a lot more people participating in the walk. Of course, all the money is proceeds that we get from all the walkers and all the runners goes to Halikaukau because we had such great sponsors. And I just want to read the names of some of our gold sponsors because due to them, we're able to pay for all of the expenses of the walk and the run, including pay for the shirt, which we're going to distribute to all the participants. And these sponsors come up time and time again to support us. Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, which is in Kihei, Goodfellow Brothers, which, they're pretty much, you've seen their little signs all over. They're involved in the high school and building a lot of Kihei. Island Podiatry, which is Dr. Stephen King. Duke's, and Duke's is an interesting thing because it's all the way in Kaanapali, and yet they constantly support, and also they're both the managers, are both runners, so they're very aware of the running community and supporting the running community. Kihei Ice, and many of you may not know, but Representative Tina Wildberger is that's her company, Kihei Ice, and so she's supporting us. And of course, Maui Health Systems, which is the new kid on the block, so to speak, for the Kaiser and for
Managing
the hospital.
hospitals, yeah.
Right. And then we have Kelly King, our council president, who is sponsoring my brother, who's in now the Realtors, president of the Realtors
That's right, I
Association of
saw
Maui.
that, yeah.
Right, and he's a sponsor. First Hawaiian Title Guarantee, Maui Tacos. We're going to be giving out a lot of Maui Tacos, gift certificates to the participants and the volunteers. And then we have a number of individuals that, and all of those sponsors pay the money that pay the expenses of the event. So all of the money we collect from the participants, all is profit. Last year we made about $6,000 on
Wow.
our little race in Kihei.
That's incredible.
And then following that, and we also have this year, well, it's the second year, but I'd really like to promote it, is the Corporate Challenge. Any business or organization can send 3 men or 3 women or both and enter the Corporate Challenge. And the idea is to bring the companies, businesses together. Again, this sense of community, that we're all in it together. And we really rely on everyone to help us raise the funding we need to keep this program going.
Right.
And we're trying to get that a little bit more teams involved this year than last year. Last year was our first time ever to try it. So we're hoping we'll get more teams this year. And so that's the Stomp Out Hunger race, which is coming up in October 19th at 8 o'clock. And it's a nice race because it starts and it finishes at Haleakala. Our volunteers are sponsoring the breakfast so that we will have a nice breakfast for all the participants at the end of the event. And we have an award ceremony. We're going to be giving out medals to the first overall in each of the 5-year age groups, and it's a mermaid on the island of Maui on the other side. So it's a really cool medal that they're all going to be getting for the first place in each category. Then we have certificates for second and third. We're going to have flowers for our overall finishers, our masters finishers, and special awards that we're going to be giving out. So that is the Stomp Out Hunger. October 19th, 8 o'clock in the morning is when the race starts, but packet pickup is Friday night from 4 to 7 or early in the morning at 7 in the morning, day of the race.
Do families come out and race?
Yes, we get a lot of families with the children. In fact, we have special rates for children, and we have special rates for seniors. So our seniors and our children pay less than the general population. So we're trying to encourage the children to participate, particularly in the mile. It's a good distance for them.
Yeah.
And they can run ahead of their parents. The parents walk and they run ahead and come back, and we stay with them until the parents show up.
I want to interject real quick. What $6,000 does at Haleakala? That's almost our budget just to shop at the food bank, quote unquote, shop at the food bank.
Gotcha.
So right there, that is huge for us.
Right.
If we got $6,000, that's what would happen. It's all food.
Right. And it's a 4th annual, so it's only going to grow from there.
Right, exactly.
Cool.
And
Okay.
And then in November, which is right after Thanksgiving, of course, we have a big sit-down dinner on Thanksgiving Day. Last year we served about 200 meals inside the hall at a sit-down dinner. And then the Saturday after Thanksgiving is the Mulligans on the Blue 17th Annual Golf Tournament. Last year we made almost $20,000 on the tournament.
Wow.
So we have gold sponsors, silver, green team sponsors, and you can just be assigned to put up on the tee. But all of the money, again, that we collect goes to Haleakala. And we have a lot of the sponsors pay for their players to play, plus additional money to pay for the corned beef. They get a breakfast, they get lunch by Mulligans, and it's a really great. And we have a silent auction, so it's really a great event. We have hole-in-one prizes.
Right.
We have 2 different hole-in-one prizes by Toyota, and Michael Dwyer himself puts up a hole-in-one prize. We have closest to the tee and those kinds of things, and bullseyes, and all kinds of little mini tournaments going on. And individuals can buy 2 mulligans so that they can, if they mess up, they can try again.
They can fix it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's our tournament, and either one can be gotten by calling Holly Cowcow's office, 808-875-8754, and we can send out any information they want from either of the 2 events.
Terrific. So the golf tournament is on Saturday, November 30th, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right? Always on that
Right.
that day. And then the
And that's at the
fourth
Wailea Blue Course.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And the coming up sooner is that the right way to say that?
Yep.
October 19th, the 4th annual Stomp Out Hunger 5K and 1 mile walk. Mary, thank you so much. I'm sorry to rush you, but you know how time goes. we let Claudine have. You were so bubbly. I gotta say,
That's very nice.
you're excited about what's
I'm
going
very
on.
excited.
That's really great to see, because that's a hard job you guys are doing. But
She's got a very hard job.
yeah, think of all the people you're helping and how much better life is for them.
That's
Terrific.
all it takes. If you're a driver and you see someone at the curb waiting for their meal, literally, or they're standing by their door, you know how meaningful that is,
Right.
that they would be waiting for us to
Right.
deliver. So thank you to all the people that would want to support Holly Cow. Everything counts. Every little thing counts.
Right.
Whoever. We do get visitors, too, by the way, at both places. And I can't say thanks enough to Michael Dwyer. He's great.
Super. Hey, thank you very much, Dr. Mary.
Thank you.
Claudine, thank you. Have a good day. We're going to shift gears and we're going to go to Hana.
Aloha.
Actually, we're not going to go to Hana. We brought Hana to us.
That's right.
Right? Right? Okay, we've got Ohana Makamai. We're going to be talking with Cynthia Santiago, who is the director for this program. You're a certified substance abuse counselor. And let's get those cords straightened out so you can
All right.
hear there.
Thank you.
And she has brought with her a new staff member, Mr. Robert Cantrell,
Hello.
clinical supervisor. He's the guy that knows everything, right?
Yes, talk to him.
Talk to him. Don't talk to you. Come on.
No, we're both here. We're good.
You're both here. Okay, you're good. Tell me a little bit about your background, Robert, and what brought you to Hana.
Thank you. I am licensed in Florida, California, and in Hawaii. I have a master's and an MBA, and then I'm in recovery. And I then went back and got a master's in addiction counseling. Employment-wise, I've been with Hazelton Betty Ford in California, and I also worked on Skid Row in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So I've done the gamut from Hollywood to those that didn't quite make it into Hollywood, or those that made it into Hollywood and
Yeah,
then
right.
were asked to leave, dropped
Yeah.
out, made the G list or something. But anyway, no, I am certified with a program called the Matrix Model of Recovery. And that is focused, and it originated actually from case studies in Hawaii dealing with the crystal meth epidemic, which is now into its 3rd generation on the islands. And there's actually, statistically, from 2017 to 2018, there's been a 142% increase in seizures of federally, federal seizures of crystal meth itself, or as it's more locally known as ice. And it's absolutely at epidemic level.
So that there's more and more coming in.
And more being consumed. At one time, it was a working class drug where an individual would use it to hold down 2 jobs, and now it's literally wiped out communities and certainly wiped out families. And I believe there was a judge in Honolulu who said that it was Hawaii's gift to the mainland.
Oh, gosh.
That and within the past,
good.
right, exactly within the last 12 months, there's been a 21% increase in deaths related to crystal meth alone, and so we're talking about over 21,000 people that have been affected and lost their life as a result of this use.
Wow. And it starts in many different ways.
Absolutely, and it's amazing because as I said, it was originally used as a working class drug. It's now expanded with the opioid epidemic. That segment of the population is using it to counteract the let's say the drowsy effects of using heroin or fentanyl, which is just killing people left and right. It's also been embraced by the homeless community, and they're using it as a cheap alternative to cocaine or to crack. The amount that a person would spend on a 20-minute high on cocaine would be the equivalent of being up and high for 24 hours using meth. And what studies have found is that with the homeless community, not only is there a dual personality disorder there with mental health issues, but the drug is being used almost as a protective factor. They will stay awake at night, which will lower the risk of robbery or rape. So it's absolutely wiping out not only the working class, but it's wiping out everyone.
My goodness. Is it that inexpensive to get?
Comparatively, it is, and of course the price varies, from region to region. On the mainland, based on a study that just came out from NPR 2 days ago, that there are 7 tons being brought in to the U.S. from Mexico every 3 days.
7 tons.
7 tons.
Every 3 days.
And I'm thinking, what does the average SUV weigh? I mean, that is an incredible amount of drugs. But fortunately, at Ohanamokomai, we're recognizing this crisis somewhat differently than other treatment facilities. We're the only treatment facility in the state of Hawaii that is addressing the epidemic through the matrix model. And the matrix model is it's a 16-week program which can be extended up to a year and a half. And within the program, it's recognizing cognitive behavioral therapy and evidence-based therapies, where an individual is taught early recovery skills, and they're then taught behavioral techniques to block cravings as they occur, with the idea being if you can change a person's belief about a situation or about themselves, you can change the thought pattern, you can change the way they act, you can change their life. It's not. There's no moral connotation here, and it's recognizing the importance of dealing with life on life terms at this moment. All of us walked in to today carrying this gigantic hefty bag filled with a lifetime's worth of regret and shame and guilt and hurt and everything else, and we don't have to carry it. Sit it down. And that is one of the important factors of what we're doing.
Oh.
Everyone has value, regardless of where you stand in a community. Everyone has value.
Interesting. So it gets kicked off by something in their life.
I will say this: every addiction on this planet, and the industry itself is getting away from the word addiction. It's substance use disorders. We're walking away from the terminology addiction, and we're walking away from the terminology alcoholism because it's stigmatizing. But at the root of every single addictive behavior on this planet is one word, and that word is pain. and it could be the pain of being rejected, the pain of feeling unloved, sexual identity issues. Everyone's pain is individualized to that person. And what ends up happening is we reach for food, or we reach for online shopping, or we reach for gambling, or we reach for drugs, we reach for alcohol. We never address the pain. And so what happens is what we have reached for to make us feel as good as the person standing next to us is what kills us. And the pain remains, and lives are shattered, and nothing's gained.
Interesting. More on that when we come back from our break.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, your weekly radio show where we talk story with our nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out what's happening in their world. During the first half of the show, we talked with Courtney Ikawa, who is the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters. And now during the second half of the show, we are talking with Cynthia Santiago and Robert, and I lost it there.
Cantrell.
Cantrell, hello. Of Ohana Makamai from Hana. And just before the break, we were talking about the pain that we all have someplace buried in our lives. And, well, I shouldn't say we all have it buried. We all have pain from something or another in our lives. Mm-hmm. But some have been able to deal with it. Some have gotten over it. Some have kind of stored it in a back of the mind kind of thing. But if that comes forward for some reason, we're headed for a problem.
We're heading for a problem if it's not dealt with. The idea is to the catchphrase is trace it, face it, and erase it. We're not
good.
We don't want to live in the shadows of our mistakes. Recognizing that we're not the sum total of every mistake we've made. People have been victimized, and people have certainly made life choices that in no way benefited them. But we don't have to live in this, as I call it, the hefty trash bag of the past. Yeah. There's a saying, get off the cross and let someone else use the wood, so to speak, and that. But we don't have to. We don't have to live in that.
Right.
And the beautiful thing about what we're doing at Ohana Makamai is that in the 1980s, the matrix model was conceived, and it was based on studies that originated in Hawaii when the stimulant disorders or the stimulant use issues came to light here. What was happening in Los Angeles, people it was this open, repetitive cycle where, people would go in for coke addiction, and they were tripping, and everything was, they kept landing back at point zero. And there were, so a group of PhDs from UCLA came to Hawaii and did some studies with people that were in active addiction. And one thing that they found is that historically, a person in active addiction allows the drug to control everything. A drug addiction is a full-time job. It doesn't take a day off. It doesn't care that it's there's a funeral, there's a wedding, you've got a birthday party. It doesn't care. It's simply that you don't get a day off. And then when you decide you're going to quit that job, it tries to kill you.
Oh.
So what they found out is a large part of the matrix model is recognizing behaviors and irrational behaviors as compared to rational. If we are living with irrational thoughts and irrational behaviors, clearly our lives are going to be out of skew. One thing that is done daily during this program is working with scheduling. Every hour of every day is you decide when you come into a session, you're bringing your rational brain with you. And your rational brain says, okay, well, tomorrow I've got to get up and I've got to have breakfast. I need to do these things before lunch. I need to eat lunch. I need to do these things after lunch. I need to make sure that I go to bed at this hour of the day so I can get this many hours of sleep. And by doing so, you are eliminating any type of irrational behaviors where you're dwelling on your addiction. You're not scheduling in for your irrational brain to say, oh, well, I really want to use crack today. I really want to use meth today. I really want a beer right now. Where you're dwelling on that. That was not part of the rational program. And what they found through clinical studies is that in traditional recovery programs, the success rate for every 100 people that will enter into an inpatient program, which is normally about a 30-day program, at the end of 1 year, of the 100 people that have entered getting the exact same information, only 3 remain clean and sober at the end of a year. Now, what they're finding out using the matrix model that we're using, and again, I'm going to toot our horns because we're not only the only program in the state of Hawaii that's using it, but we're also the only program that has an institute-educated staff member running it. And what they're finding is that if a person will complete this program and simply follow the directions, that you have over a 75%, and they're actually saying 78% success rate in a year.
Wow.
So, comparatively, this speaks for itself. There is no comparison.
Yeah.
So, it's which addiction is going to do one of 3 things. Well, 4 things. You're going to get sober. You're going to end up in jail, an institution, or you're going to be dead. There's no other options here.
Wow.
So that.
But what you're doing though is you're teaching them how to plan their days so that there's no time for that.
That's exactly right, and to recognize when a craving and an urge or a craving is normal, because the use itself, if the first time a person used drugs and alcohol, it was the worst experience in the world, they'd never do it again.
Right.
But it wasn't. It affects the pleasure centers of our brain, and it makes us want to do it again. My first experience with chocolate was fantastic, and I've got the waistline to prove it. And the situation is, think of it like this. To simplify this, if I can, let's say I'm a diabetic. Okay, I have no problem telling you I'm a diabetic, and Cynthia walks over and says, "Rob, I really love working with you. Here's this container of jelly beans." And I think, "Oh, I love jelly beans. Some of the greatest experiences of my life have had jelly beans. I've been to parties, I've had jelly beans. I've been to holidays, there's been jelly beans. I know that I dated and had jelly beans. They're great." So I sit down and I eat the whole container of jelly beans. Well, while we're talking, I start foaming at the mouth and I'm sweating, and you go, "Rob, you look terrible." And I'm making no sense, and eventually an ambulance takes me to the hospital where they cut off my leg and they take out my kidney and my heart stops and it goes, "Doo," and I'm dead. And my question is, was I responsible for having diabetes? No, I was not responsible. I was born with diabetes. Was I responsible for eating the container of jelly beans?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I was only responsible for the first one. After the first jelly bean, the disease took over. I was I was completely in control and made a conscious decision. My rational brain, had I had the tools, would have known that the first one I have control over. I could be sitting in an entire room full of jelly beans. They have no power over me. The same with crystal meth. A person that has a stimulant use disorder, they can be in a room filled with crystal meth. It has no power over them as long as they have the tools and are able to make the conscious decision not to use the first one.
Right.
After the first one, it's over. You've lost.
Wow. Fascinating approach to it. Never quite thought of it in that.
So next time you're at the store and you see jelly beans, you remember you remember this conversation.
Right.
Thank you for letting me share that.
No, but that's true. And when you think about it, it's there.
Well,
and you're faced with it every day.
Absolutely. And I think another thing to recognize is that a person that overdoses on crystal meth or on a stimulant, there is no medication at the hospital that's going to save you. Now, they will imagine going 148 miles an hour down the highway. The doctors can't make you go to zero. Your heart stops. They can try to slow you down with a benzodiazepine, a Valium, or something like that, to slow you down to 60 without killing you. With an opiate, there are medications that are available to counteract the reactions of the opiate that could save you. But with a stimulant like crystal meth, there is no medication. It's a hit or miss. Education is critical.
Yeah, evidently.
Letting people see that there's hope.
Is there an age bracket that is more?
At one time, it was right. It was at one time, and I'm using the nation as a whole because that's how statistics are done with this. But it was middle class, middle age, working class males. That is not the case now. It has, in some areas, it has completely wiped out the gay community. In some areas, it's wiping out, the Gen Xers. In Hawaii, it's a non-discriminatory drug. It will just wipe out anyone, as it will wipe out anyone anywhere.
Right.
But, and it's, as the government, local government says, it's third generation now.
And it's so easy to get.
Absolutely. And the thing is as back to the jelly bean analysis, with the tools, with the correct tools, lives can be saved. And fortunately, that's what Cynthia and that's our calling.
So as you know, Hawaii has a huge problem with methamphetamines. Labeled as number one in the country.
Right.
We don't want to be number one.
That's not one of those we want. Yes.
Yeah, and so in Hana, we have just as big of a problem as anywhere else in Hawaii.
Right.
And we feel very fortunate to be able to bring the matrix model to Hana to assist in the process of helping the folks that come to our door.
Will you be working with some of the other agencies?
Well, we are. Our mission is in Hana.
Right, that's
We're
true.
one agency, but we do have a sober living house, and we get many referrals from other parts of Hawaii and even outside Hawaii, and we definitely work with whoever we admit to our sober living house.
I see.
Yeah, so we're not exclusive to Hana.
Right.
And we actually have space available. People can call, our office and find out a little bit more about what it means or what the criteria is to come into our sober living house.
Okay, and a phone number to call for more information?
248-8538.
Okay, 248-8538.
Yes.
Wonderful. Did I remember the phone number from the first half of the show? Okay.
Neither do I. I want to add that
Sure.
because we have a large Native Hawaiian population in Hana, we also incorporate cultural elements that are extremely important.
True.
Because just approaching it specifically from the way that it's been modeled is is great, but it works much, much better when we incorporate the cultural elements that are necessary as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Much more meaningful.
Right.
Yes, and so we have staff that are able to, bring that in and integrate the matrix model with everything that we need to do to bring in the cultural elements.
Right. Wow. Robert, wow.
Thank you for having us.
I don't often leave the show with I don't know what to say.
Well,
feeling, but
the beautiful thing about it is that there's hope.
Yep.
And we're available, so to anyone listening, please call us.
What is there something that sparks that idea in someone that maybe I'm in trouble?
I think that in all actuality, there's a threshold, where you go from the social user to the heavy user to the point where it is active addiction, or active substance use. And once that barrier and that threshold is crossed, there's no coming back to the social.
And in all honesty, a majority of people coming into our program are court-ordered. And that is really that place where they end
Gotcha.
up, where they actually begin to understand there's a problem.
They're involved in something illegal, and the judge says you go to treatment or else.
That's right. And
we'll see you when
begin
you
to-
finish.
Exactly. They begin to recognize where their drug use has taken them.
I
and
see.
what it's done to their families and
Right.
how it's progressed.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, with luck, I mean, what they do is not too severe, but it does get the attention they need for them.
And it provides the tools.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you have the skill set, there's, as we've said from the beginning, there's hope.
Right. Robert, Cynthia,
Thank you so
it's
much.
just, incredible what you guys do. I couldn't do it, I don't think.
You're doing it
But-
now.
You're doing it
Well,
now.
that's true. Okay.
Promoting
Nice.
everything.
Gotcha.
That's good. Yeah,
Okay,
that's what
so
we do.
everybody who's out there, and there's nothing that says somebody in your family can't
Oh, absolutely.
promote getting you help.
Absolutely.
I mean, they may not pay attention to you.
I'm a
but-
certified interventionist,
Right.
so we can help.
Gotcha.
We help in many ways. And there's
Okay.
some people definitely are not ready and are just thinking about it. We have a thing called motivational interviewing. We'll talk to them and try to bring them,
Gotcha.
to a place where they're more thoughtful about what their actions are
Very
resulting
good.
in.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to Maui Nonprofit Notes. We're sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Please give them a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Base Yard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. Pacific Source has been our sponsor from day one, and we thank them for their ongoing support. And to you, our listeners, we thank you for the response our agencies get from you regarding the activities that we talk about on this program. Maui Nonprofit... Whoa, is it that time already? My goodness. Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. We want to thank those that were on the show today. We talked with Claudine San Nicolas, who is with the St. Teresa's Church, the Halikaukau program, and to Cynthia Santiago from Ohana Makamai in Hana. Thank you all for being here. If you heard something you want to learn more about, please contact them directly, and maybe there's something you can do to help them. We want to thank you for joining us today. Boy, time's running out. Okay, quick, close it down. My name is Susie Tiemann. I'm the Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. We want to thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great week. Aloha.